Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Melissa Chambers Consulting, Wednesday Words of Wisdom. Excuse my voice. I'm having a little sinus thing going on here, so I know my voice sounds a little crazy. Today we're going to be super short and sweet. Last week on Wednesday, I posted a blog that is on the website, and it was about the holidays. Getting together for the holidays, and I hope you read it. It does have some valuable information, but I just wanted to reiterate a little bit about what that was about. I know the holidays are coming up, and I know that the holidays are, supposed to be a joyous, delightful, great time when we're around a bunch of family and a bunch of friends, and it's just supposed to be all great and it's happy and all of that. And, I think we want it to be, and maybe it is for some people, but for a lot of people, probably more people than you think, there is a lot of sorrow on the holidays because maybe they have lost someone, or maybe they have someone who is sick and it is, probably going to be their last holiday, or maybe they, don't see some particular loved one that they, would love to see, and they get sad about that, or, maybe they're caring for a loved one living with dementia and everything is just a little bit hard right now, and, etc. The list could go on, but for a lot of people, the holidays are not joyous. They're sorrowful, and I think it's okay if that's where we're at. It's okay. We just need to acknowledge that, and lower our expectations a little bit. I think sometimes we have our expectations set pretty high for the holidays, and we have this in our minds thinking about the way that it used to be or the way that it should be. And then the holidays come and they're maybe not that way, and it's a letdown, and then we feel even more sad than we were feeling prior to. And I'm sure if that has happened to you, you can relate to what I'm saying. So I think just keeping our expectations of the holidays very realistic. The holidays aren't going to be something that every other day is and isn't, just because it's the holidays, right? Our loved one, our situation isn't going to change just because the holidays came. So we need to be very realistic. And one point that I made in the blog that I posted last week was about, just something as simple as the table settings. Like, some of us, we like to decorate and we like to have a very fancy tablescape. However, with someone living with some sort of a dementia diagnosis, less is better. More is not necessarily better. More is very cluttered for them, and it's hard for them to think straight sometimes, and it's just more of a distraction than anything. So less is better. And for us, we might think, well, I would never set the table with only plates and silverware and no candles or leaves or other decorations. But realistically, maybe that would be better this year to try it. And so just thinking about little things like that, and just trying to be a little more realistic and just lower our expectations a little bit for the holidays. And I think that's just my message for today. Just the holidays don't have to be bad, but they may have to be a little bit different. And maybe through that, you create a new memory, you create a new tradition. And that doesn't mean that you have to get rid of all of your old traditions, but it just means maybe you have to modify them a little bit to fit into the world that you're living in today. And that might not always be the world that you're living in. Maybe at some point you can go back to the old traditions, but for now, just try to think of a way to modify them to fit in a little bit better, so that when they come, when the holidays come and go, your expectations, you weren't let down. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully I'm coming across clearly. And I hope that you all have a lovely holiday. Of course, I will be on here before then, but they are coming very fast. It's hard to believe that it's November 13th. But it is, and the time is going to keep rolling. So, Thanksgiving is going to be here before we know it. So I hope you're all doing well. If anyone needs anything at all, please contact me. You know how. Up above is our phone number, our email. You can call, text, email. You can reach us through the website, melissachambersconsulting.com. We're here for anything. And if it's not something that we can do, we can find someone to help you out. So please don't hesitate to contact us. Thanks, and we'll see you next week. Bye.